miracles, statues of deities, gods of all religions will show signs of miracle. Vibhuti will be falling out of pictures of gods and messiahs. Shiva me Vibhuti, Shiva me Vibhuti, Shiva me Vibhuti, Shiva.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the October forecast of Shreem Brzee. And I apologize that the tech team has tried their best to live stream and they were not able to. So you will find this recording and hopefully this will be very helpful for you to navigate the energies of October and experience wealth, abundance, and miracles. So let's get started. I'm Lalita Varahi, if you've never seen me before, if you're new. And I am a Pillai Center teacher. I also, I am a Vedic astrologer at AstroVed. So it's called the Shreem Brzee Monthly Wealth Powertime Forecast. That's a more correct definition. Literally, we will be talking about the most important time shaktis or power times for the moon, the stars, and the planets, so you can increase your wealth, experience lasting abundance. So the period we're looking at is October 1st to October 31st. So October will start during the waning phase of the moon. If you're not familiar with the lunar phases, 15 of the 30 lunar days will be in the waning phase, so the darker, right? It starts with the full moon. So after the full moon, the first waning phase, and then it will be second waning, third waning, and so on until it becomes totally dark. And you can see in the screen. And then it ends with the new moon. The new moon is, we will talk more about the new moon because it's an important time, especially this month. So during the waning phase, what do you want to do primarily? I think I see a mouse there. We're going to remove that mouse. Oh, thank you. And the waning phase is to let go. Just a darker moon. It's more introspective. You look at you do your inner work, and you realize, where am I blocking wealth? Where am I speaking words that don't support my Shreem Brzee identity? Where am I treating people in a way that Lakshmi doesn't want to be in my house? So the goddess is ever loving, ever powerful, but you have to invite her. And so we block the arrival of this archetype, this incredible beauty and abundance, ourselves, because the divine is always present, but also we have to invite these beings, these celestial beings, these helpful archetypes to come and visit us. And we do so with our attitudes, our speech, also our decisions. So this is a time to let go of anything karmic that's blocking you. And the important thing of this one waning phase, this 1 month, it happens once a year, is that we're looking at Mahalaya. Mahalaya is a time period that includes 15 lunar phases, the darker ones that culminate into the new moon, the darkest day. You can see here in the picture, there's almost no light because the earth is between the sun and the moon and blocks the light. So the moon appears to be dark. And actually the moon doesn't have its own light, it takes it from the sun. So during this time, we honor our ancestors. And if you've been around for a while, you know how important this teaching is that Dr. Pillai has revealed a long time ago. And we really receive all our thoughts in two primary ways: from our ancestors, from our genetics, including soul genetics, right? And also from the planets. In the planets, we always include the sun and moon, even though technically they are luminaries, and of course our astronomy does not call them planets, but these are celestial bodies and we look at. Okay, so I think that Dr. Pillai has said that 80% of our thoughts come from our genes, from our ancestors. So how were your ancestors? Even if you remember a few, you can never know your entire lineage, right? So many generations. So someone may have experienced a bankruptcy, incredible poverty, or fear, even starvation. We really don't know. So we want to heal the souls of these ancestors, and we have the capacity to do so during Mahalaya. So this is a very lucky time for you, because you have an opportunity to heal your thoughts that come from your genes and from your ancestors. And when the ancestors are healed in very simple ways that I will explain, they will go to a higher plane of existence. So more, more into the light. I'm not saying they're not in the light now. I really don't know. It depends. But some beings take a longer time and some take a shorter time. Maybe they had a very pure life and also they had good karma. They went immediately into the light. We really don't know. So to be sure, we always honor all our ancestors. You always start with 6 generations, and maybe after 1 year or a couple of years, depending on how you feel about it, you can include 12 generations of ancestors, of dead ancestors from your father's side and your mother's side. So just so you know, like from October 1st until October 12th, it will be Mahalaya. So this is not the ideal time to start something important, like a new business or something, doing something very auspicious. It's really a time for healing the soul level and healing your ancestors, and also for letting go of bad habits. I'm not saying just freeze and don't do anything in these coming 15 days, which actually start on the 29th on Saturday. And then that includes the 30th of September, and then October 1st to October 12th. Okay, actually, I believe it's October 13th, because the first waxing moon begins on October 14th. So there's kind of a mistake there. All right, let me double check, please. Hold on. Yes. So the new moon ends on October 14th. Yeah, so that, okay, that was a typo. That's supposed to be October 14th. For some reason, I can't figure this out. Okay, but the new moon will be on October 14th. So that's the most important day of Mahalaya, and the day when you want to declutter your house, declutter the mind, do Tarpanam multiple times. And if you can, do this Tarpanam, which is an offering you give to your ancestors. But Dr. Pillai also said you can chant the Shreem Brzee, which acts also is a karma removal of some kind, especially Brzee in the throat. So just to notice that you may feel triggered, maybe some of this behavior will remind you of some problem you had in childhood. So that can be due to the ancestors coming to this plane of existence, and they hang around you. Literally, we have the thinning of the veil. And at this time, when all these ancestors come and live with us, kind of, and they want to be fed, right? This also happens on the subtle plane. It is really a subtle thing. You most likely will not have an apparition. I don't want to scare you, just so that all these thoughts may come and they're not your thoughts, and you will be more triggered and you may feel uncomfortable unless you're in a state of receptivity and also prayer and also just awareness, because when you're alert and aware, nothing can happen, without your decision and without your participation. So be focused on this time and try to appease your ancestors. If you don't know how, you can look up all these wonderful videos that Mohini made on Tarpanam. It's called Tarpanam, the ancestral ritual to appease the ancestors. So I don't want to take too much time from the Shreem Brzee call, the wealth power times, to talk about this, but it's an offering of black sesame seeds and some rice and water, and then you offer and you call upon these generations. So I invite you to look up this full ritual. It's very simple, but it needs a little bit of practice. All right, so please look up Tarpanam videos with Mohini on YouTube, and you'll find a lot of them. So next, please. So this is a very important lunar phase. So we don't consider it to be auspicious, except it's a great opportunity to connect with Ganesha and to chant the Shreem Brzee, because that's our practice, right? We want to chant the Shreem Brzee every day, because the more you invite Goddess Lakshmi into your life, into your daily activities, the more responsive she will be, and the more you will feel and think differently. Your goals will change. She is the goddess of orientation. Even if you don't have a business idea, it will come to you, or any other thing that you want to, a new job. She will give you the idea, look into this field, go and talk to that person. And the goddess will become very active in your life. Okay, so on the fourth moon, you can invite Ganesha. And Ganesha is the celestial being who can foresee the obstacles in your life, even in the future, and he can remove them. He has this amazing siddhi, super intelligence, psychic vision ahead of you, and can see what troubles may occur if you do certain actions. So if you want to start a new activity and you want to ask Ganesha to go ahead and remove all the obstacles, and you can contact Ganesha on these dates. So we have 3 fourth moon days in October. So lots of time with Ganesha that you can spend. October 2nd, October 17th, and October 31st. That's awesome, because it's also Halloween. So you want to stay connected with the divine on that day particularly. That's my understanding, and I've always observed it as soon as I understood what Halloween is all about. It may be fun for some people, but for spiritual people, it's also a time for consciousness to be more conscious and alert. Okay, so on the fourth moon, you chant Om Gam 108 times. That's it. Ganesha will come. He actually appears even when you say 3 times, and sometimes even once. But if you're not very connected with Ganesha, it may take a little longer. So try this practice. It will be wonderful for you. You will think differently, obstacles will vanish. So lots of miracles can happen. And then chant the Shreem Brzee 108 times. So you want to do that daily, right? Find a good time for you to do that. Okay, next, please. Okay, the 11th moons are very auspicious and they bring you a lot of wealth. Why? Because Lord Vishnu, the husband of Goddess Lakshmi, the consort of Goddess Lakshmi, is very active, very present, and very attainable on the 11th moon. And this in October, that will be October 9th and October 24th. So Vishnu is the consort, we have said, but he himself brings a lot of wealth, right? Not just with Goddess Lakshmi, but the 2 of them will be also very active together, because Vishnu and Lakshmi are one, and also because Goddess Lakshmi is very happy when you praise her husband through Om Namo Narayanaya. Narayana is that reclining form of Vishnu, who is most associated with Vishnu's wealth, or at least one of them. Venkatesh is also very auspicious, and he is a standing form, but also reclining form like Narayana. So you can connect with Vishnu, just chant this mantra, and just know that Goddess Lakshmi will be ecstatic. She will be very happy with you, and she will want to bless you. And also, of course, you want to chant the Shreem Brzee 1008 times. So that will take probably 40 minutes or less, depending on how fast you chant. So try a few things and see what works. You can use a counter or a malabit necklace. Next slide, please. Okay, 13th moon, great time to chant Brzee. On the 13th moon, your karma can be vanquished. It can be eliminated. And we're, of course, talking about the bad karma, not the good karma that brings you wealth and good relationships. We're talking about the bad one. So on the 13th moon, you have an opportunity to do that. And how do you do that? You visualize Brzee in the throat. Just chant Shreem Brzee and put your attention, Brzee, put your attention on the throat chakra. You can even touch the throat if that helps to remember where to focus. Repeat it 108 times. So that's a very powerful technique to remove bad karma. There is also other technology, and Dr. Pillai has revealed many ways, particularly when we say surrogate. So some things that you cut or break that take your karma on. It can be limes, it can be lemons. Also, it can be Ganesha's coconuts. So that's surrogate spiritual techniques, right? Technology to release your karma. And we're actually asking Brzee. Brzee is the sound that removes money karma. And the other karmas, of course, Lord Shiva becomes very involved in this karma removal. Okay, so next, please. If you're confused with this technology of the other techniques, you can always Google them, of course, with Pillai Center. I think I've made videos about how to remove karma with lines. I believe for Pillai Center practice. Okay, so next is new moon. This is the most important day to appease your ancestors. So it's always on a new moon, but this month in October, because of Mahalaya Amavasya, that is the most powerful time to make sure your departed ancestors, your deceased ancestors, will receive this food, these offerings, and will be healed and go into the light. That is where they become your personal deities. What does that mean? That you don't have to see them, but they will put new ideas in your mind, and that they will help you. They will bring a person into your life in various ways. So there's a lot that can happen. Okay, I know we're all skeptical by nature because the mind has this terrible defect by technology. And Dr. Pillai says there's a bug. Okay, so just by definition, the mind is not very clear all the time. So we don't believe actually that we're connecting with our ancestors. But once Dr. Pillai told a story of a Siddha who was trying to perform a miracle for a deserving woman, and she needed a car, right? Because she was getting married and the in-laws wanted a car. That was in India. So Dr. Pillai told the story of this Siddha, and the Siddha went and talked to an ancestor of a car dealer's owner. And so he told the grandpa, hey, you made a mistake when you were alive. you didn't pay this person, his due. So you owe him money. And so to cancel this bad karma that you have created with that, do some good, do a good deed, and go into the mind of your grandson and tell him, you have to donate this red car. And so the Siddha went to the car dealer and said, I want a car. And this person was showing him all these cars. And he said, no, I want that one. He said, well, that's very expensive. And he said, that's the one I want. And then, so he finally gave it to him for free. And that's how, an ancestor can talk to a living being, a descendant, of that ancestors, that would be you. So an ancestor can put an idea into your mind, and then for good or for worse, and then in that case for good, because then the grandpa got rid of this sin, and he was able also to help a poor woman. Okay, so hopefully that the tale helps a little bit to explain how it works. Okay, so on this day, just do Tarpanam a few more times. Do the offering. It's a mixture of water, rice powder, or even raw rice with some black sesame. And then you mix them and you offer them. And then you say, I call upon 6 generations of the dead ancestors from my father's side, and 6 generations of ancestors from my mother's side. Please come and accept this offering and be healed, be at peace, and go into the light. And remember to bless me. Then you pour a glass of water on it, let it fall in the sink. And that's all. And then you know that they have accepted this food and this energy, and they are better, they're fed and content, and now they can help you. Okay. And that will remove completely your bad karma. So, for example, that donation of the car not only healed the soul of the grandpa, it also helped to the grandson who did a good deed, and now an ancestral karma disappeared. Right. Okay, next, please. Now we're talking about the good things. They're all good, but this is the part that we like even more, because it's the waxing phase of the moon, and all the bright phase of the moon is more conducive to manifesting what we want. That is the time when we can grow things. The light grows, even the harvest happens after the waxing moon, during the full moon. So all these things, you can finally receive the gifts from your practice, your dreams, your efforts, through the grace of the goddess. So remember, it's always a collaboration, in my view, and also from my understanding of like 30 years of spiritual studies in the yogic tradition, and from 15 years with Dr. Pillai. It is a collaboration. So through the grace of your teacher, Dr. Pillai, and the blessings of this divine being, or call her an archetype, Goddess Lakshmi, you're receiving wealth. And also your participant, because you, having free will, must be a willing participant. So it's a collaboration. Dr. Pillai is kind of taking some karma for us so we can receive these miracles, because our bad karma usually blocks thoughts of abundance, wealth, happiness, good relationships, joy, and even evolution. So he's kind of doing his work, right? And then the goddess is coming, putting new ideas into you, bringing you miracles. What is a miracle? A scientific fact we don't understand. So that divine energy changes everything. You will be different, your space is different, other people will receive your thoughts and will treat you differently. So it's a collaboration Everything is one, right? So don't go into fear and skepticism, which is the normal default we all have, and don't feel bad. We all have it at some time. So just by trusting that it's a divine collaboration, that we're all together, we have so much help, then when you change to Shreem Brzee, you do it consciously and use these 15 days very powerfully and very with so much alertness, with so much dedication. So take it very, very seriously, because this is the time when you can manifest your goals. You can receive miracles. Next, please. Also, more light means more intelligence and better karma, right? When we have more intelligence, even our bad karma cannot get us. How does karma happen? When we are kind of unconscious, kind of distracted, kind of in a negative thought, and then boom, what's scheduled to happen will happen. But if you're alert, even your bad karma is inactive. That's what Dr. Pillai says. Now, I love this time. It's called Navaratri, the 9 nights of the goddess. And it's a wonderful time to reset your life completely. I know there is a trip to India. I think that's sold out, but there may be a few more spots. I will not be going this year because I'm involved with other things, but it's always life-changing. I was already on a trip like this, the goddess trip in 2018. It changed my life. And this is the time when the goddess destroys all the dark forces. What are the dark forces? Your enemies. Your subtle enemies, your physical enemies, or your obstacles, all kinds of embodied and disembodied obstacles, right? So Goddess Durga comes first on the first night in the US. So in the West, the Western countries. In the West will be on October 14th. The time will change depending on your time zone in the US. If you live in a foreign country, in another country, I mean, Asia, etc. So please check the first night of waxy moon, the first waxy moon in your time zone. You can see that on AstroVed. When you sign in, you will be in your time zone. And actually, even if you don't sign in, AstroVed, when you just visit AstroVed, you will see the times in your time zone, usually, but just to be sure, just sign in and make sure your location is correct. Okay, so just this time, this first night of Durga, I've had so many miracles during Navaratri, especially we got this Durga, especially we got this Lakshmi, and also Goddess Saraswati will restart your intelligence. It's a never growing thing. We are not just done. Okay, now I'm intelligent. It's over. No, we're always evolving every second. And that's why we come here. We come to the earth plane. We take a physical body to acquire more intelligence and have better relationships, better finances, and also just to understand that we are divine. So this is the time when the goddesses would destroy all demons, enemies, rivals, competitors, bad karma, all kinds of negativity will leave when you chant Om Dum Durgai Namaha 108 times during these 3 first nights of Navaratri, the 14th, the 15th, and the 16th of October. Next, please. And now we have the 3 nights of Goddess Lakshmi. Now, these are very important for this group, right? For this community. For everybody, but particularly for this committed group like you, and you're scheduled to receive miracles. This is the time to do it. So this goddess is kind of ferocious, actually. It's unexpected, right? She's so sweet and benevolent, but there is a ferocious aspect of the Navaratri goddesses. Why? They're here to vanquish darkness. They're here to kill those Rakshasas. Rakshasas are the demons, the demon beings, the asuras who don't want humanity to share the gold and the wealth of this planet. They want it all for themselves. So that is not a good thing, right? Lakshmi says it's a no, and she kills them. These goddesses cut the heads of demons, of course, figuratively, but maybe in ancient times in different ways, I don't know. And if different yugas are different, obviously, in Kali Yuga, we change, and then dark forces that cannot reach to us. So remember, when you're in a state of love, devotion, and gratitude, dark forces cannot see you. Why? They vibrate kind of low, slow vibration, the energy of exploitation, lies, hurting others, very low. So when you're in a state of love, your frequencies are very fast, but your vibrations are very, very fast. So you are in parallel worlds, right? You don't meet. And so you're protected. So that's another reason why you want to pray. Dr. Pillai said that prayerlessness is a sin. I know, because I become unconscious when I don't pray regularly, when I don't meditate regularly. So that is a mistake. Definitely brings us confusion, and we don't want that. So chant Shreem Brzee 108 times, clean your house during Navaratri, do a little something, even if you're very busy, at least, always be clean, take a shower, fresh shower, and feel fresh and ready to pray. And just offer one flower, offer some chocolate. Love is the healing force, is life. God, love is God. God is love. We know that. So pray, trust that the ferociousness of the goddess is vanquishing those demons who are causing poverty, starvation, lack of water on the earth plane for millions, if not billions of people. And so this is the time, especially now that we're in Satya Yuga, these goddesses will be extremely powerful, like off the charts powerful. Okay, so next. Thank you. Okay, so the last 3 nights are also very important, because this is the goddess of wisdom, intelligence. All the gods and goddesses have wisdom, but Sarasvati is kind of a specialized goddess. She protects the beauty of the fine arts and the beautiful speech, Vak, speech, which means manifesting. Speaking and manifesting is an expertise of goddess Sarasvati. So she destroys the demons that bring ignorance. All evil is ignorant, because when we are intelligent, we understand what we do to others, we also do it to ourselves. Even though we know it, we still fall into that mistake. Oh, I'm better than you, I'm smarter. All that is very evil and ignorant, because it harms us, it harms others. And we close ourselves off to miracles. Miracles cannot reach you. Blessings cannot come to you. The grace of the divine and Dr. Pillai cannot reach you. So you want to pray to these goddesses. It's the most important time to get in touch with the divine feminine. The divine feminine has returned to the earth plane. And there was a time when the divine feminine was forgotten, disrespected, and women were accordingly, because the women embody the goddess more. Everybody has the goddess archetype within, and those men and people who do their inner work know that. They become softer and loving and more generous, protective, because the goddess is very protective of her children. The goddess is the mother, right? And during this time, you can pray to any goddess, but particularly these 3, Durga, Lakshmi, and Sarasvati. Sarasvati, so it's Aim, chant Aim 108 times, offer white flowers or any kind of flower, and she'll be very happy. But she will destroy all kinds of ignorance that causes also bad karma to fructify. So if you're always in a state of loving kindness and generosity, it's very hard for your karma to fructify. Why? People will see you in a different way, and they will not harm you. that some people will still be, negative and maybe they don't wish you well. There's nothing you can do, but being in a state of devotion, that also protects you. Okay, so enjoy your Navaratri. It's going to be wonderful. And if you can go to India, congratulations and enjoy. It will be wonderful. Next, please. Now we have the night of victory. I love this. In India, they have this image of Ravana, the most powerful demon that was killed on that night. In Dasera, some people say. In India, there's this huge statue with 10 heads of Ravana, and he gets burned. But then I forget the name of the demon that goddess Durga killed Mahishasura, I think. And goddess Durga killed him. And so on that day, all the goddesses win. So here we're seeing just goddess Durga, but all the goddesses celebrate with humanity their victory over demons of destruction, demons of poverty, and demons of ignorance. So there is this collective joy and this culmination of all the powers of the goddess vanquishing all evil. So that's a day, it's a very auspicious day. It's also the 10th moon, which is one of the most auspicious. So you can chant Aim, Shreem Brzee, and Dum Durgai Namaha. So on the day of victory, you can chant the Shreem Brzee. Here it says Aim. No, that's not the only mantra we chant on Dasara, the night of it. It's called actually Vijayadashami. Dasara is another name they use more in North India. So Vijaya means victory, Dashami means the 10th moon. Okay. So enjoy this time. Next, please. Oh, also now we know Dr. Pillai is going to India. He is already in India, but he will be joining the goddess trip on the first day, for sure on the 15th, as far as I know. And so that's another reason why you want to go to India. That's very important to see Dr. Pillai live in person. Lots of miracles happen that way. And now the full moon, I love the full moon. Usually I don't feel great on the full moon unless I'm meditating, asking for miracles and chanting. So you want to use this time. It's a very important time for your dreams to fructify, your actions to culminate into wish fulfillment, full fulfillment. The name says it, not the new moon. I mean, half of the world is doing that, or even more. They want to fructify on the new moon. There's no energy conducive for that. But the full moon has the energies of the Divine Mother, the Goddess, and Shreem Brzee. So you want to do that. Also, I invite you to join this great program, Full Moon Shreem Brzee Immersion. It's wonderful. There will be a puja by Sucharita and a fire ritual by Swamini Valli. The Anuradha star days, these are very powerful days when the moon will enter into Scorpio, and after the first nakshatra, which is called Vishaka, we have Anuradha. Anuradha is the day of the birthday of Goddess Lakshmi, and also this Maharishi who gave us the name, the mantra Shreem Brzee. So it's very important for us, especially for this community, because Dr. Pillai was actually Vishwamitra, and then he returned, and through the Nadi readings, he received this amazing sound of wealth, right? Called Brzee. So the sound of wealth itself, it's the seed and it represents wealth. So on Anuradha star, both Goddess Lakshmi and Maharishi Vishwamitra are very active and present. So Vishwamitra, as we said, is the father of Brzee, and it's a great power time for you. I cannot overemphasize how powerful it is to do a ritual and chant. So 1008 times, I recommend chanting Shreem Brzee on that day, and it will be very powerful just because the time Shakti is so conducive to calling on the goddess. All right, next slide, please. Shreem Brzee Fridays, these are really powerful. Every Friday is very powerful to connect with the divine feminine, particularly goddess Lakshmi, because this is the day of Venus. Venus is a planet associated with wealth, beauty, abundance. Excuse me. Goddess Lakshmi is the overlord of Venus. So this is the time to chant 1008 times every Friday. On October 6th, October 13th, October 20th, and October 27th. Next, please. Oh, you can also do a hydration to a statue. So on a Friday or during Navaratri, I usually dress my goddesses. This time I only have a thin kind of ribbon, but I try to find a bigger ribbon to put around them. So I just dress the statues after I hydrate them with water and milk. Okay, next. So writing down the goals is so important. You will become more aware of them. You avoid forgetting, which is the nature of the mind. What does the mind do? It's filled with thoughts, and also we forget the important things. What is the important thing? If you need money, then you will think about money. And if you don't think about money, it will not come. So you need to know what you're trying to do. If you want, for example, a new house, but you never think about your house, maybe you think about it once a month, it's not going to happen. It's going to be very difficult to manifest it. So if you write it down, you're already creating, right? So that is a great, simple step you can use to write your goals. So they're here, they're in front of you. At least write one, but up to 2, 3, it's okay. You can write 3 major ones. And it can be like a few words, like, okay, wealth, health, and love. I don't know, in whichever order you like. So remember to write down your goals and stay alert. Okay, and conscious, which gives us great power. I think this is the last slide, but there are free events that I like to mention. Remember, on YouTube, on Friday, there's the Shreem Brzee group chanting. It's always very powerful to chant with your community. There will be a Navaratri Goddess Empowerment webinar. I will be there. Hopefully we can go live by then, as this technical issue will be taken care of. So I'm looking forward to seeing you on the 8th of October for this empowerment webinar. And stay happy, healthy, and wishing you miracles of wealth. Also, let me say a few words about this full moon immersion, right? So this is a great program I was talking about. There will be a puja offering of 108 flower petals. And it's wonderful because every petal will absorb the energy of Shreem Brzee. And as you offer it to the goddess, it will be multiplied. All flowers, all petals can multiply mantras. But if you have some pink roses, that's even more powerful, or a pink lotus, or a pink flower, that would be great. If you can't find a pink flower, no problem. You just watch the video, or you can use a white flower or yellow flower. So don't worry. Stress and worry actually separates you from the divine, because you get into an unconscious state. So you can just watch this beautiful ritual done by Sucharita. She makes it very beautiful. I know, because I also participate when I can. And also there is an interactive full moon fire ritual. Once you sign up for the month, it happens once a month on the full moon. Then even if you cannot join live because you're busy or you're not in town, etc., your name will go into the fire. And that's a very powerful way to send your letter to the divine, right? You're sending the email. This is what I want. Here I am. Please bless me. But still, fire rituals are the most powerful technology. All right. So thank you for watching and see you soon. Wishing you lots of miracles. Goodbye.
शिव मे विभूति 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 शिव मे विभूति